Happy Ultra Week. Happy Ultra Week.
It is Ultra Week, bro.
It is. Ultra Music Festival in Miami.
That's right. South Beach, man.
That's right. Mr. 305.
It's going down.
The energy is too real right now.
Dude, it must be crazy down there.
Oh, I wish I was there right now.
Well, maybe it's better that you're not, man.
No, because this is the first time in 3 years that you can actually test the millimeter wave network at Bayfront. Remember, we talked about this multiple podcasts ago.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Ultra is the ultimate opportunity to stress test a network. Let me tell you. That in EDC.
200,000 people, Dennis, in one tiny concentrated location. Over 56 millimeter wave times 3 sector nodes.
Wait.
Over the place.
Moose, it's only 200,000 this year?
Well, I'm saying just in the local area of the main stage. I mean, the whole place probably has like close to 400,000 people.
That's still not as many as
it used to pack. Yeah, it used to pack back in the day.
Dude, literally in South Korea, I'm not kidding. I remember there being like over 1 million people across like 3 Olympic stadiums.
It's crazy,
man. Let's say hello to the people, man. We're doing this thing, but let's say hi to everyone. We got Tech Guy 32. Welcome to the show. We got Elimelech. Good to have you. Caesar's in the house. We got Big Kaz here. Hashtag Mod Squad. Speed testing and technology videos hanging out with us tonight. Welcome to the show, Tim. Good to have you, sir. Jason D. We got Vivian. We got, what is this one here? Cyprioni Tech. Welcome to the show. MS is in the house. The homie MS, Mark Smith. He actually just switched to AT&T.
Oh, nice.
And he's loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Quick shout out before we begin, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to say this in the live chat. Update the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro.
Yes.
The update went out today in the morning.
I just got my update done, Moose. It took 2 hours, but we got it.
It's always taking so long, Sneed.
Dude, it's the Tensor chip. It's the Tensor.
Dude, this is not good. Dennis, do you hear this, man? This is not good, man.
Bro, there's a reason why I haven't owned a Pixel since the Nexus 6P.
I was shocked how long it took.
No Pixels have had problems like this one.
It's ridiculous, man.
Are you kidding me? The first Pixel had the screen burning issues.
I didn't have a screen burning issue, bruh.
Those LG panels, man, it was a known issue. I'm not pulling it out of my hair. They had a screen burning issue. And then also, I think it was the Pixel 3 had the issue with basically overheating.
No, the Pixel 3 didn't overheat, bro. I had it. I had all those Pixels. None of them were problematic. Some people had issues. I will admit to that. But this is anybody who owns a 6 or 6 Pro is having problems. Everyone.
I mean, Wayback Machine and Google, man, I guarantee you every year that you look up like problem with Pixel, you're just going to see like major headline with like screen, like here. Let's see.
Pixel 3 had boot looping? I don't remember that.
Yep.
What?
That was another thing.
Who else we got? We got Ryan. We got No One Man. Aaron P is in the house. Mr. Kamikaze Kid is here. Ryan is in the house. We got Andy. Nick, good to have you. Glad you could stop by tonight. I just want to make sure I say hi to everyone that's new popping in. Big Ryan, Big Heck. Welcome to the show. I should
mention this too, Sneed Man.
Robert.
The new LG C2 and G2 launch prices have dropped today as well. This is a big day in tech today.
What's up, Big Cade? What's going on, sir?
I mean, if you want to know what I was excited about, Moose, Western Digital did a freaking massive sale on their enterprise hard drives.
Nice, dude.
So I picked up 4 WD Gold 16 terabyte drives for $300 a piece.
Jeez.
Which, as you know, Moose, those are normally. Which, as you know, those are usually like $600.
Yeah, very expensive. Wow.
And that discount stacks with Rakuten. I found out about that after because Stetson ordered 4 of them as well. They're for our NASs. Well, for Stetson, who's going to be converting a PC into a NAS, and for my NAS.
Nice. We got Pete in the house. Welcome to the show, Pete.
I like this poll, Sneed. Do you want to mention the poll really quickly? This is a really good poll.
Yeah, we got a good poll up there. If you guys want to go ahead and vote, go ahead and voice your opinions or your, I guess, prediction. How many points of presence does Verizon reach by the end of 2022? And I should edit this. It really should be how many points of presence for N77, right? So their new 5G ultra wideband channel.
What was their
N77
target that
C-band.
they said? Wasn't it 175?
175 was the target, but I don't think it's going to be 175. I think it's going to be more. I crunched some numbers. I'm looking at these upgrades. This is just absurdly fast, shockingly fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to welcome to the show longtime friend of the channel and supporter of the channel, Caesar. What is up, my friend? If we got you on audio, we'll see if we can get him in here.
If he's on mobile, I know Restream gets a little funky.
Yeah, it's possible. Make sure your connection is good. Make sure that the microphone is enabled.
Well, it doesn't have to do with the connection. It just doesn't like to run unless if he's on iPhone. I think he has to go into Safari and like enable some like things to make it work, but sometimes it doesn't want to work.
We'll see if we can get him in there. All right, Kevin is here. Jason is in the house. Danny is here. All right, boys, we'll go ahead and start with the night's topics.
Let's start just right with Verizon since you brought it up right from the get-go.
Yeah, man.
So Sneed, I specifically want to focus on the article that I shared with you, which came to my attention thanks to one of the people that's viewing here, which was Vivian, who shared it to me. And that is the fact that Verizon is getting early access to additional licenses in its C-band portfolio. So some markets are already going to be getting 100 megahertz of that sweet N77.
Yeah, 100 megahertz in some places. In other places, they're getting 60. I look, man. The people who are going to be happy about this are going to be those that are just outside the top 46 that felt left out and figured, well, I guess I just got to wait until 2023. Well, now, if Verizon can pull it off, they can start upgrading gear probably within the next few months in those markets, and then kind of do what they did with the initial launch, whereas they put the gear up, and then they wait until the licenses have been repacked and they can start broadcasting and transmitting from the radios. So the markets that are most notable here: Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Denver. Denver's the big one.
Stetson,
that's probably going to be the first one that we're going to see clear early, which is Denver. And they got they have millions of people in that PA.
Stetson and Pete are going to be very happy.
Yeah, man. Oh, and dude, I have the juiciest news, but I can't talk about it right now. I freaking hate this.
Are you able to put it in the private chat, or maybe?
I have to pick it apart a little bit because I just got the info. I have to digest it a little bit and synthesize it and break it down, deconstruct it, and then once I put it together, I'll definitely get you in on the know. But dude, it is heavy, and it is Verizon related. It is heavy, bro.
Can I guess? And then you could just tell me if
you'll never guess, bro. It's so abstract, like it would never cross your mind.
So abstract, it would never cross my mind. Like, is it network related, or
it is 100% network related? But it's so nuanced. Just the consumer doesn't think about these things. It's crazy.
So nuanced, the consumer.
By the way, I do want to mention one thing.
Oh, and I will say this. I'll just say this. Moose predicted it.
I told you. But
I'm not going to say what it is, but Moose freaking predicted it. That's all I'll say.
I'm telling you right now, I want to say one thing from the previous podcast, and unfortunately I was not there, but I'm going to call out Dennis. I'm going to call him out on one thing.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm going to call him out on one thing. because Roger Entner is absolutely 150,000% correct. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They want to spend the money. They want the best, the biggest EP, the biggest goddamn whatever you want to call it. They want to show off the speeds. They want to show off
the
speeds.
5 gig and all that. Okay.
I'm going to call you out on it because I told you that people are going to spend the big bucks.
Moose,
regardless,
I feel like
if it costs them $200 a month or more. They just want the best.
Moose, I feel like your opinion is slightly warped. And the only reason for that is because I found out, thanks to the gloriousness of Reddit, that AT&T started giving their employees access to the 5 gig internet for literally $10.
I literally mentioned this the other day, but that doesn't go against the fact that 34% of people surveyed believe that they do not have broadband and they're willing to pay for the top tier internet plan. That mind blew me, dude. I was like, there's no way in 2022.
Hold on. This is a perfect opportunity for me to bring this up. I have gig, okay? I have literally been doing a little experiment to push the boundaries of what unlimited data is with Verizon right now, and have basically used 1 terabyte of data today. All right, in a day. And that's on a gig connection. And I
expect them to call you, Dennis.
And I still had capacity left over to keep doing like everything else I had to do on the network. And do I expect them to call me? Is that what you asked me, Sneed?
Yeah. Do you expect them to call you and tell you, hey, back off, bucko?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I'd imagine Verizon probably has some type of department or something like that for residential consumers. But I just want to see what unlimited actually looks like.
And by the way, I do want to say one last thing as well, because I'm also going to call you out on one thing. Okay.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that there's no use case for anything above a gig for normal people, right?
Yeah.
I have found one, but just one actual use case that I think people might like. Okay. I want to ask you, Dennis, there's this term, but I'm going to simplify it down because I don't remember the term, but basically, what's your get out of bed rate?
My get out of bed rate?
Yeah. So like we were talking about this with a couple of friends of mine. The get out of bed rate is, are you willing to pay, hypothetically, $250 for somebody to clean your house? Because the get out of rate price tag is, I'm willing to pay $250 so that I don't spend 4 hours, 5 hours cleaning the house. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like hell no to that.
Right,
I'd rather
exactly.
clean it myself and honest, or I'd rather just live in filth than pay that. So
right. So the question is, how much do you value your time? Because the biggest thing that I can say is this. When I downloaded Lost Ark, okay, on the 5 gig connection, the maximum download speed that I was getting was 2750 directly from the Dallas Steam servers. But if I was to have had the gig connection, I would have been missing 1.75 download speed. Thus, you can do the exact calculation. Instead of it spending 5-7 minutes to download, I would have had to have waited longer. You get what I'm saying? So that's
Moose,
why yeah, go ahead.
I value my time a lot, hence the reason why I have gig. That being said, this example that you're trying to talk about on Steam is not, I'm not saying it's not something that can happen, but it's not realistic. Like most games, I'm not joking, Moose, most games do not sustainably fully saturate my gig connection for any meaningful length of time. And that just simply comes down to the fact that either the rate at which the drive is able to, and the processor are able to uncompress the actual packets of information, because when you download something off of Steam, it's typically compressed in some capacity, is slower, or because the server in which I'm trying to download from is basically bottlenecked by its upload from all the other people on Steam trying to download X thing, and so it can't possibly keep that connection saturated the whole time.
Gents, I got to get the show back on track. Uh, big shout out to George. Thank you for the super chat. No, Verizon isn't buying T-Mobile. Come on, man. let's not get crazy, right? Thank you for the super chat, man. My brother Tana, what up, man? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for coming through, showing us some love here. Yeah, I agree, Nikki. Those Reddits and subreddits, man, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all, man. Stay away. Yeah, that's not happening. That's right, Kamikaze Kid. There's no sense in it. Let's see here. Oh, snap. Somebody missed the moose clap. That's unfortunate. You'll have to watch it on replay, crew.
The
Juan.
replay.
Catch it on replay.
Well, I want to hear Moose finish his talks about the get out of bed rate. So what's the
All right,
get out of bed?
Real quick, let me get to the super chat. Pete Fox, thank you for the super chat. Verizon has already started N77 and CBRS upgrades in Charleston. That would be PA 85. Maybe prepping for an end of 2023, but might be an indicator they believe they can pull even more markets forward. I totally agree on two things there. Number one, the prepping process, which is exactly what they did a year in advance, in the top 46 PAs. So that would mean, to me, I think by early 2023, you're going to start seeing gear going up. And then probably right away, immediately, they could start broadcasting. So thanks, Pete. And yeah, expect it coming to your area quite soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Moose, finish up. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so basically, the idea though now is that I can actually justify for people to get the 2 gig. I still can't justify getting the 5 gig, but in certain scenarios, if you have a gaming PC that supports 2.5, 5 gig, or 10 gigabit Ethernet connection, you can actually take advantage of the speed, specifically when downloading. But specifically, even more, Steam does it, Battle.net does it, and EA does it as well. Now, am I saying do you need it all the time? No. But if you want to download your game as quickly as possible, and by the way, you're absolutely right. The compression thing is another thing. But if you have an M.2, you have no issues. Trust me. Like I was literally, once it downloaded, every single byte was also, decompressing and then, writing into the SSD. But my point is that I can actually justify for people getting the 2 gig. I can't justify at the 5. But you're right. The 5 is too aggressive right now.
Let me, Sneed, I know you want to change topics. Let me just say this real fast. 3 quick things. One, the amount of gamers that are actually downloading to an NVMe SSD is got to be like 0.01%. Heck, you'll be lucky if they're downloading to a SATA SSD, not a hard drive. 2, I'll just say that very, very niche one-off situation where you might spike to 2 gig versus the 1 gig download rate, it's not going to save you as much time as you think. It might save you like 15 seconds in that one specific use case out of the month, which for the cost difference being literally like between heaven and earth, I don't think is worth. And then just simply 3, it still ignores the fact that that person needs to have equipment to support actually like 2 gig across the board. Like it's not just having a PC with a 2.5 gig NIC, but also like a router that has a multi-gig LAN port and WAN port to receive that connection. Like a lot of things have to go right. And literally when I say like no one has a need right now for like morning gig, I'm talking like the only people that need it are literally like enterprise use cases. Like even small to medium-sized businesses are going to be fine with just gig.
Yeah, but you could see how somebody would go for it if they had just the smallest inkling that they might be able to use it. They'll just get it.
Yes, I mean, I suppose if on the one day the sky turns purple because the sun hits down just perfectly on the full moon of the 5th leap year,
all right,
sure.
Thanks,
but,
Dennis. Thanks, man. All right, big shout out to Blind Tech Adventures, the homie Nimmer. I think this might be the largest super chat in the history of the channel. $100 super chat. Today is a great day for Verizon. Thank you all for what you do. No, thank you, Nimmer. We appreciate all the support that you give to the channel. Huge supporter of everything we do here, man. Thank you again very, very much. Massive, big time. You're the best, bro. Thank you. There was a question in here somewhere. Jason T, good to have you, man. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, that's true, Ryan. You really do have to filter through a lot of stuff. That is 100% true. Yeah, I mean, like anything, good and bad. You got to kind of deal with the both. Watching 2040 240p hashtag Verizon. There's that fixed wireless, Dennis.
Hey, that's the thing that you love, Sneed. What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
Hey, I have been one of the first people ready to take those bullets, man. I know it's not perfect right now, nor do I ever really think it gets perfect, but I still think, just based on the way that Cox Communications is and a lot of these cable companies move, that I feel like it's going to help a lot of people.
Hey, right now I'm in the honeymoon phase of Verizon. I got my stuff moved. I've had my service working reliably for these past 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
in the
good.
honeymoon phase right now with my fiber.
Enjoy it while it lasts. I don't know if we got Caesar back. Hey, Adam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, y'all?
Adam, what up, man? What about Caesar? We got Caesar? No, we don't have Caesar.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Oh, there we do got him. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for coming through, man.
What's up? How y'all doing?
All right, man. We got a Moose Clap super chat. Hashtag Moose Clap. I have the T-Mobile Home Internet. Absolutely love it. Had AT&T 10x1 for 2 years. Wow, he upgraded to the fixed wireless access, man. 60 to 80 down, 10 to 20 up. That's a nice move, Franco. I'm glad that worked out for you, man. And hopefully Verizon comes around and gets you another option too, so you can maybe see who works better for you and get a better price, and you get to choose. It's tough having one choice. Kind of sucks.
Sneed, you know what I should do? Since T-Mobile Home Internet's offered to me, do you think I should get it and try blowing it up right now like I did with my Fios?
You know what? It will not make it through whatever you're gonna do to it.
You don't think it can?
No. I know what you do. They'll be asking you to return it.
Well, it wouldn't hurt me much. I was gonna say it's like I don't want to keep it.
Now, would you go and do the Metro one and do it prepaid, or would you actually order it postpaid proper or whatever?
I was thinking postpaid proper. Just pay the $50 or whatever, and then literally, if you want to know the truth of what I would do, literally just take one of my desktop computers, hardwire it in just to that, set up some nice Linux torrents, and just get those going. Totally legal torrents,
right?
And just have it go 24/7 around the clock.
Man, big shout out to Richie B. Thank you for that super chat. I don't see a question or a comment, but we're very appreciative of that. So thank you, Richie B, for that generous super chat donation. Thank you. All right. Well, so Verizon had that big moment today. They're going to be early clearing a lot of markets.
Yeah, what do you think? So here's the question real fast, Sneed. Based off the performance that we saw from 60 megahertz, what do you think 100 megahertz N41, N7 or N77 ends up looking like on Verizon? What kind of peak speeds do you think we're going to start seeing?
I think peak you start seeing 1+ gig.
You think we see over a gig reliably?
Yeah, man. I think you're going to see a lot of that 800 to 1.2 range.
Okay.
Because currently, my average is 450, 500. Right, my peaks are 650. My low average is 300. So that's why I kind of average it to 450 to 500. Essentially, you're going to almost double the bandwidth. So I think a gig is very doable. Okay. I think the bigger issue, Dennis, is market to market. What's going to be the density? How many sites got it? And then also the air matters. To me, it looks like the Ericsson's the best way to go. For us in Samsung markets, we're kind of waiting for some updates. We're waiting for sites to be better tuned. We're waiting for densification. A lot of those things are kind of in play. As those things happen, I think we're talking about gig across the board. And if they're using CBRS on these sites, then we're talking about slam dunk, Dennis.
That would be
60 to 70 megahertz of CBRS aggregating on LTE.
That would be impressive. I was gonna say T-Mobile. I can't think of any sites that I've seen from T-Mobile that has just straight up raw N41 hitting over a gig. And I know they got.
I see screenshots online, but I've never tested it.
I've seen screenshots too, but like I said, I've never seen it. And
yeah, same here.
That's what I'm saying.
How about you, Adam? You seen the gigabit speed from T-Mobile?
No, the most I've seen was 8, and that was in my little small rural town.
What about you, Caesar? I know you do some testing in Cali.
I'm here, not much. It's the highest I got is like 900 megabits per second, but not 1 gig.
That's pretty close. That counts. Yeah. I'll count that.
That's really good. I'll take it any day.
I mean, realistically speaking, the average that I see for ultra capacity is more realistically in the ballpark of like 300 to 500. That seems more realistic from what I typically see.
I see more speeds about 3 to 6.
What I'm getting at is that 100 megahertz on T-Mobile is basically what I'm seeing on 60 megahertz from Verizon.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's how Cleveland market is. I found a few sites that get like 600-700 for T-Mobile. It's just not that many, and the range isn't that. My problem's actually not the top speed. If a site's getting 500, I'm cool with that, but it's got to work beyond a mile. It's got to work at a mile. If I'm getting what, like 2.5, almost 3 miles with C-band on not even full power, and it's brand new, like it was literally just launched like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Dude, the T-Mobile N41's been out for 2 years. Wait, Moose, 3 years?
It's going on 3.
So I'm looking at the goalpost. Like, you guys tell me, where do you think N77 is going to be 2 or 3 years from now?
2 or 3 years from today?
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be covering literally 300 million pop.
So that's how I'm comparing it. If I look at what T-Mobile did in the last 2 to 3 years, I mean, one could argue that Verizon did the same amount of work in this initial launch that T-Mobile did in the first 2 years. So essentially Verizon's upgrading gear before the Spectrum launched in January. You say like about 6 months of upgrading gear. And then, I don't know, 3 months of launch, 2 months of launch. I mean, they're already at 125, 140 million pops. How the hell aren't they going to get to 175 million by the end of the year? How are they not going to get to 200? Like, if you look at the poll, and this is what Moose was saying, you guys vote. Do you think Verizon hits the 175? Do you think they exceed the 175?
I feel confident. I feel confident they'll hit the 175. As far as anything past that, I get a little less shaky, or a little more shaky on. I think 185 is totally realistic. 195 is starting to get more into like stretch territory. I definitely don't see them doing 200 million or more this year.
Personally. They're definitely doing I definitely think they're doing 200 million or more.
Because they're going to get DC, Baltimore. They're doing Denver and Atlanta all early. Those are huge markets. Those PAs are probably... That's got to be 20-25 million pops in those 4 cities.
So let's just clarify. They're at like what, like 110 million currently? Roughly?
They launched at 110 million.
Like, what was the last like confirmed reported number that we got from Verizon? It was 110, yeah?
Yeah, that was at the end of January.
Okay, so they're at 110. And let's just say they get those markets, and let's just say they add another 30-ish million just from those few markets that you were talking about. That would put them at 140. That means they still got another 35 million to go just to get to their 175 million target.
Okay, Dennis, but let me give you perspective. Cleveland is PA number 11. Or is it 14? It's either 11 or 14, I forget. We have 4 million people in this county. That's 4 million pops. Like, that's a lot. They haven't even, like, the stuff isn't even live yet. The gear is going up right now as we speak. I literally intercepted like a dozen sites in the last week getting upgraded. I'm not even exaggerating.
I guess what I want to bring up and clarify is the actual deployment strategy that I've noticed from Verizon versus T-Mobile. And by that, I mean this. Verizon, and a lot of the places that I've noticed, seems to be basically deploying from outside the city, so your suburbs, and then going in. Whereas,
it depends on the market.
Well, that's what they did in Pittsburgh. If you look
and that's
at
what they did in Cleveland too. Same thing.
All right, cool. So same approach in both cities, right? And then they're going in, right, to like actual downtown. While they'll get a lot of people once they put in those few towers that they need to do to cover in that downtown area, it's probably not going to be as many as you think it is, because most of the people do live on those like surrounding parts of the city. Like no one actually lives in downtown Pittsburgh because like that's where all the businesses are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you guys got a lot of condo and apartment living in Pittsburgh, especially near the campuses.
I mean, yeah, you'll cover CMU and you'll cover Duquesne. And
what about UPMC? What about all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you'll get UPMC Hospital, but like, there's not as many people as like you think. That like, I don't know what you're picturing the housing to be at a UPMC, but it's not like a Penn State. It's not as much as you probably think it is.
I'm just looking at it collectively, Dennis. I'm looking at your county. I'm looking at your city and your county.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at your pops there, which is probably a few million people.
Well, I could tell you what the population is for Allegheny County.
All you got to do is go to the FCC website and pull up the PAs and find it.
So, Sneed, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Would you consider Verizon congested in your area?
Verizon is not congested in my area.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Did you watch my live stream 2 weeks ago when I was testing the world's most congested network?
I did not. I missed it.
Oh, dude, it was so congested. I was getting 200 to 400 megabits everywhere I was going.
Hey, so Sneed, Allegheny County only got about 300,000 people in it.
Oh, you guys are a small county.
I mean, that's basically Pittsburgh. If you're talking about the actual city of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County has 300,000 people.
Yeah, you guys are not as populated as I thought. We're 4 million in my county, in my market.
Well, Cleveland, if you're talking about just like actual Cleveland, that's 385,000.
Dennis, I'm talking about the PA. We're not talking about the city, because the PA is how they do these. Like, this is how the FCC does this, and this is how the carriers actually consider the Cleveland market Cleveland Akron.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Verizon calls Cleveland Akron, and Akron's 45 minutes away.
Can you send a link to what you're looking at then? Because
it's just like how they do Dallas. They consider Dallas Fort Worth.
Well, that's a metro. That's a metro area. That's a big, huge city. You guys, Dallas Fort Worth is probably what, 7 million?
It's pretty big. Moose, can you answer that? It's pretty big.
I think there's the whole Metroplex is going to become the third largest metro in a couple years from here. I think.
All right, Sneed, I'm looking at the PEAs, bro. FCC says that Pittsburgh has 2.4 million.
See, they're counting the entire surrounding area. That includes your city, that includes your suburbs, and the surrounding area, like the county boundaries.
Yeah, we're 23rd. We're the top, or the 23rd PEA.
Okay, so Cleveland. I thought we were. So look at the Cleveland PA. It's about 4.1 million.
Yeah, it's about just shy of 4.1 million. Yeah, and you're number 14.
Yeah. See, I when I was looking at these numbers, that's the first thing I looked at. Is, everybody was asking me about their PA. It's hard to track all of them. There's a ton of them, but pretty much up until you get to 46, everything's about 1.5 million and more. Once you get out of the top 46, you start getting into like the 1.2 million, 1.1 million PA, and then it starts dropping off, and that's where you get into the smaller markets.
Dennis, can you look at Houston?
Yeah, I got you. I was gonna say, if you go all the way down to 62, you're talking about over a mil. But yeah, Houston is
Houston's a big market, man.
Houston's pretty close to 6 million.
Yeah, that's a big city. The craziest thing about
honestly,
Houston is you got to
Philadelphia.
drive like 45 minutes to go from one side to the other.
What I was going to say
Bro,
was Philadelphia
it's
is
horrible.
surprising. Philadelphia is surprising to me. I wasn't expecting it to be number 6. It just like basically it's a little bit over 7.5 million. Same thing with
Philly's big.
Baltimore's
Boston,
also
Boston,
massive.
I think is top 8, isn't it? Isn't it like number 7 or something?
Yeah, so Philly's 6, Boston 7, Dallas is 8.
Yeah.
Baltimore's number 5 though at
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
shy of
Bro.
8 mil.
Baltimore's big time. They probably have like 8 million.
Yeah,
I did not know Baltimore was that big.
They're 200,000
Bro,
shy of 8 mil.
Atlanta. How about Atlanta, dog?
Atlanta, they're number 11, and they're at basically 5.5 mil.
Yeah. People overlook that. Miami South Beach is probably top 10.
Miami is number 9, and they got like 6.3 mil.
Yeah. New York City, the Big Apple, Chicago, LA. Those are the big.
New York
fish.
literally got over 25 mil.
Jesus Christ.
And Los Angeles has like almost 20 mil.
LA is definitely going to catch up with New York eventually. It's just growing out there. It's ridiculous.
Oh, PA Tech says, guess what center city? Philadelphia has 0 C-band, he said. Despite what the map says.
I'm telling you, they have not done the cities yet in some PEAs. All right, so let me do a quick run through here of what people can expect with this. All right, end of Q3, 175 million pops, I think, is a slam dunk. Top 46 PEAs. I think Verizon starts reaching and going into the next set of PEAs, maybe the next 20, 30, or 40 PEAs. They start getting gear up. They start early clearing all of that spectrum. They're paying the money to do it. You don't pay the money to not do it. They're not AT&T. You feel me? So not trying to throw a jab, but just calling a spade a spade. This is a major, major deal. We're talking about Denver. We're talking about Atlanta, Baltimore, DC. These are huge markets. And don't forget, if they're upgrading 30 additional cities early, then that means they can get into those smaller cities sooner. So the faster they do this and the better they pace it, the more people it's going to help. And by the way, this has to put a little pressure on AT&T. Can we agree that they should start to feel a little bit of fire, that Verizon is really pushing the envelope and AT&T is just like lurking in the shadows? Where are you, AT&T? Sheesh.
I mean, I wish I could agree with you, but I actually still disagree. Like, here's the thing. I've said this before and I'll say it again. AT&T is not in the same position that Verizon was when it came to desperateness for like getting this spectrum on air, right? Like,
but why did you pay the money to early clear it if you weren't going to do anything?
Well, I mean, I know for a fact that we've been getting reports from both people in the community on Twitter and on Reddit that people have been spotting C-band equipment and people have been seeing C-band go live in places that haven't been announced yet. So, like,
well, I mean, I'm seeing gear, but none of it's turned on from AT&T.
Agreed.
What I'm saying is like AT&T is doing something. They're just being like way quieter about it.
Telling you, man, it's frustrating. Because
so
like, look, all due respect, bro. N41, T-Mobile, we have to call a spade a spade. They have been upgrading. I don't know what the total number of sites is, and I know every area and market is different, but I'd say they're probably on almost 40% of the sites here.
What, N41?
With 5G UC with the N41.
I mean, I couldn't give you a percentage. I know they've been upgrading, but at the end of the day, when I look at end result, don't look at that band, just end result. Like, what does my performance look like?
It's good.
Only one network can consistently say it never goes below 100 meg in Pittsburgh, and that is AT&T. Never will you drop below 100 meg. And if you do, I'll eat a beanie. Because
here, Nicky T says that AT&T is congested in his market, and Lord Ludacris says that they're congested there, wherever he is.
I said Pittsburgh specifically in my defense.
Oh, Pittsburgh's great, bro. I know.
In my defense, I said Pittsburgh. Just saying.
Yeah, man. I'm seeing AT&T putting up C-band gear. By the way, it's Nokia.
Oh,
you guys believe that? Do you freaking believe this? This is crazy. So I don't have a single piece of Ericsson gear in my entire freaking city, man. Nothing. Verizon's doing Samsung. AT&T's doing Nokia C-band, and then T-Mobile's been doing Nokia N41. Man, I can't get any love from Ericsson, bruh.
I mean, is Nokia the one making the dual radio for AT&T?
I hope
I don't
not.
know.
I hope not. Oh,
Look, man, everybody's been down on Nokia's 5G gear, so they could use a comeback.
I mean, hey,
no,
I'm gonna just throw this out here. I'm gonna just throw this out here. As part of the memers, I do own Nokia stock.
If they wanna have a comeback, they can do it in Alaska. Don't do it here.
Oh man, Ryan is saying Verizon has Ericsson in St. Louis and they suck here. What? Man, that's terrible. I mean, everybody who's got Ericsson, like Phoenix and Vegas, Dallas, they love it. They
All the
freaking love
Texas
it.
is Ericsson, right?
Yeah, because the Ericsson freaking factory is there, dude. The manufacturing is done there. Well, anyway. All right, so we got good feelings about what Verizon is up to. All right, next piece of news. The T-Mobile N41. I mean, it's not officially called that, but there is an auction coming up. It is for the EBS BRS spectrum, 2.5 gigahertz. T-Mobile's going to be looking to lock it up. They're going to want to get all of it. I hope they get all of it. I don't freaking want anybody else to have it. It makes no sense for anyone else to have it unless they end up leasing it or subleasing it to T-Mobile. I do not want anyone else putting it up, messing up the contiguous nature of that spectrum. So I don't care if another company has to lease it to them or rent it to them or whatever. I just want T-Mobile to use it, and they can deepen their channels, widen the channels, make it faster, get people on the home internet. They can kick up their backhaul, do all those things. I just don't want people just being a disruptor just for the sake of, breaking things up.
Sneed, what if Dish gets it?
But that would just be so ironic, wouldn't it?
It would be. But that's why I'm asking. I mean, would you be upset if Dish got it?
That would actually be crazy.
I'm asking you, would you be upset if Dish got it and deployed on their network? I'm asking you a serious question.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know, man. They got CBRS. They got N77. Would they really go after N41?
I can't see why they wouldn't.
Where would they get the funds from? This auction is going to be expensive for not a lot of spectrum.
Well, let me explain the rationale behind why it would make sense. So if you think about it, all the people that Dish has as customers have been basically using T-Mobile's network. So they already have phones that can use the N41, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be a very easy way to poach and transition customers over to their native network. Also worth mentioning is that Dish is, in a way, I'm not saying spectrum starved, but Dish's spectrum holdings are significantly smaller than all three of the other carriers now at this point. So they do have a need for spectrum. And then as far as the funds, well, if T-Mobile's the only one that ends up really actually aggressively participating and Dish is the only other competitor, I could see them getting some fireside deals knowing how T-Mobile likes to operate.
Anybody want to chime in on that piece from Dennis?
I'm gonna let Dennis have that one.
I mean, think about it, dude. T-Mobile wasn't even willing to step up $5 million to secure the licenses that are on the table as is. They were taking those people to court over $5 million.
But they just don't seem to have the money to even really flirt with that opportunity. I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not saying that I disagree with that stand. I'm just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate, but on the same token, I could see Dish generating money even if it was to spite their own face just to fuck with T-Mobile. I could see Dish. No, seriously, Charlie. I could see Charlie doing something like that, even if it hurts him in the long run or something like that. I could totally see him doing it just to mess with T-Mobile.
It would be crazy, man. There was a comment from, I think it was Vivian, and she was mentioning Hawaii, Alaska, and somewhere else.
She said not even AT&T and Verizon, and something about N41. That's what it said.
Yeah, she was saying within areas where they don't have C-band, possibly. I don't know. I mean, N77, maybe they don't have 3.7 there, but they got 3.45. You know,
I'm just
I don't
gonna
know.
throw something else out there, Sneed. You know how on previous shows we
Ryan
talked.
agrees with you. They're spiteful like that.
Yeah, but Sneed, you know how on previous shows we talked about the importance of getting more mid-band spectrum? Like we were talking about how like at a minimum carriers in the long term are going to need at a minimum like 400 megahertz of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know we want T-Mobile to get it because it makes sense for them to deepen their channels, but on the same other side of the coin, all the carriers technically have a need for additional mid-band. Technically.
Yeah, but why would you want white space mid-band? It's literally in between areas of licenses where there's like little to very few people. It doesn't make sense for any other carrier to have it. Dennis, the only carrier who has a shot at making it contiguous is T-Mobile.
I'm just playing some devil's advocate here.
And I could see a situation where somebody could say, well, let's do a spectrum swap. I got your 2.5.
Just to get that C-band from T-Mobile.
Yeah, to get 20 or 40 megahertz out of them.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, because that's literally all there is of this N41 in these places. There's not a lot. It's 20, 40. I don't even know if there's a single market that might have 80 megahertz of it. It might be. I know that they're 10 megahertz subblocks, I think.
Hey,
so that'd be like 10, 20, 30, 40. I don't know.
Hey, Sneed, once this auction's over with, okay, where does the next bit of mid-band come from?
I think there's some stuff around the 6 gigahertz. I think also the 12 gigahertz that's being operated by satellite right now. I think that's going to be a big frontier. I don't know if there's like there's what is that stuff called? The legato band, which would be really good for uplink. If that was to get auctioned, that would be good. It would be uplink though. I think it's like 40 megahertz or something. So that would be a huge boost to uplink. Could you imagine if each carrier got like 20 megahertz of that dedicated uplink?
Oh my god, that would be. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be really good.
Dedicated uplink. We know how hard it is to come by, right?
Yeah, but I don't think this is my hot take.
Hey, Chuck, good to have you, man.
This is my hot take. Once this auction's over, I don't see the carriers actually getting the type of treatment they got with C-band for like another 5, maybe 6 years. And by that, I mean like 400 megahertz of sweet, succulent mid-band going up for auction.
Well, do you know how much C-band is going to be used as guard?
Like what, 100 megahertz worth?
No, it's like 220. There's 220 megahertz of guard band. If this FAA situation and these frickin' plane operators, if they frickin' change their altimeters and get those filters installed, you can probably get away with 40 megahertz of guard and probably auction 180 megahertz of the 3.7. Well, it would be like the higher stuff. It would be like 3.9 or whatever.
Dude, if that happened, I could totally see
you can have another C-band auction. It'll probably generate another 60, 70, 80 billion dollars.
I could totally see Verizon blowing their load once again, as you like to say, and getting pretty much another like 100 megahertz worth of that.
And what would they have to do? Nothing, because their gear would already be compatible.
But we already know, man. The likelihood of that happening in the next 5 years.
All they got to do is just upgrade their crap.
No. I'm saying the government actually like figuring things out. And
well, there's a couple of FCC commissioners that are trying to make that action happen.
We'll see.
They're trying to make stuff happen. I mean, if we can let the politics get out of the way, we can make progress happen when it comes to wireless connectivity, and we can actually talk about competing internationally instead of just BSing our way through it. Lip service is lip service, but when you put it to action, it's more meaningful. And everybody talks about how great China is. Everybody talks about how incredible Taiwan and South Korea. That's all fun and that's awesome, but it's really about American connection policy. How far along will our fiber infrastructure build be? How far along will our spectrum auctions be? How much more millimeter wave are we going to deploy? How much more mid-band are we going to auction? The carriers are thirsty. Look at how they spend at the auctions. it's not the carrier's fault. Never has been. You know, everybody says they hate the carriers. Well, what's been so spectacular about our FCC? Arguably, they've been the weakest link. They're the ones that took forever to get CBRS live, you know, and try to pry it from the freaking filthy hands of the DoD and the 3.45 and the satellite operators with the C-band. They finally got that pulled off. We need more of these things. You know, and you know, Dennis, we could talk about the fixed wireless all the time. You know, we discuss it as an option, but like it has no chance unless it has spectrum and has fiber.
It needs a lot of spectrum if you want fixed wireless to be what you want it to be. It needs
and a lot of fiber.
Oh yeah.
You know? What say you, Mr. Carter, Maine?
Yeah.
Say it again, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
What say you, Mr. Carter, man? What do you think about the current state of affairs with the networks, man? You think the carriers are doing enough? You think it's more on the FCC? Are you happy with the way things are going? You think things are positive, going in the right direction?
I'm not, actually. I've been very voiceful about how I feel about at least the blue carrier. And I do think the FCC do a lot of holding back. They're getting away with a lot of stuff, and I feel like it needs to change. I do feel like that.
It's all about policies, man.
I mean, this is my hot take. I do feel like the carriers are to blame to some extent because the carriers should have been deploying like they were spectrum starved. And by that I mean, if you look at the density of our tower grid in this country, there is not a single carrier that has the actual level of density necessary to meet the needs of what 5G calls for. And that's something that could have been worked on even back in the LT days. Like it's not like small cells are a new concept, right?
Right.
But no carrier really took the time to do small cells outside of like New York. You know, like no carrier actually took the time to do that. And we see carriers like T-Mobile, when they did get a bunch of small cells thanks to their merger and acquisition of Sprint, saying like, yeah, we don't need these, and just started decomming them.
Do you think carriers could operate without investors and shareholders?
Yes.
What's up, Kate?
Yes, because you're talking to the socialist who says you're talking to the socialist that says the carriers shouldn't be privatized and they should be owned and operated by the government.
Hey, Mark, a POP stands for point of presence. Basically, it represents how many people within a specific market. So, like, for example, the Sneed POP, 4 million pops. That's the market I live in. It's partial economic area number 14. So in my PEA or market, there are 4 million people. That would be 4 million pops. Stands for points of presence.
So a PEA and a POP is the same thing?
A PEA is a market.
Oh,
It's
okay.
generally speaking, it's like a market. Sometimes it includes multiple markets if they're smaller. Could be like some PAs look like they're county based. Essentially, they kind of are actually.
Yeah, Zach pointed out something. Just look at US Cellular. They don't have any investors, and they're privately owned and upgrade basically nothing and don't care to expand. That's what Zachary said about US Cellular.
I thought US Cellular was expanding back into the Vegas market.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Ryan, the DoD, they don't need anything in the 3 gigahertz range. They really don't. They could just give up all the 3 gigahertz stuff. Let the mobile network operators get it. Let private networks get it. All the CBRS, the 3.4, the 3.7, the whole thing. Just give it up smooth. So PA is a market. PA meaning Pennsylvania. That would have several markets in it. You would have like Philly. You'd have Pittsburgh. What else would be a major? Erie, I'm guessing, would be a PEA of its own. Erie, PA.
State College would be one.
Yeah.
Also, he said pops are the dumb humans inside that market.
Nimmer says points of presence also counting businesses and things different than popular. That's true. Universities probably change the PAs a ton, don't they? When you get those large campuses, some of those things, they're huge. We got Carter back in here. There we go. Scranton, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, Philly.
I'm pretty sure State College is bigger than Scranton is from a population standpoint.
So anyone they could swindle. Nice, Mark. Nice. By the way, it was I know you were live earlier, man. It was fun hanging out with you guys for a little bit, man. Good times. Good stuff. SMB crew. SM7B crew. Jarrett asks, who owns spectrum between 2.5 and 3.0? Well, T-Mobile Sprint is 2.5. I think their licenses actually stretch past 2.6. But after that, I'm not sure. I don't know what other frequencies are there commercial, but I'm sure there's something there, but nothing on the mobile network side. Yeah.
Hey, hot take, and I want your thoughts on this, Sneed. Do you think that for future auctions, there should be a somewhat like approach of like, hey, here is like this spectrum. You can buy this spectrum, but from like ranges X to Y, it's going to be on a first come basis, kind of like what they did with CBRS. Like, do you think that approach was an effective approach to really incentivize the carriers to be very aggressive about trying to be first to market with the deployments?
Well, the CBRS situation is different. Remember, that's a shared spectrum.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that?
I don't know, man. I wasn't the biggest fan of the way they did CBRS. You know, they restricted the power. They split it up in 10 megahertz subblocks. They really wanted to just spread the love instead of actually empowering the mobile network operators. Like Verizon's really the only carrier that took CBRS seriously. They're like, all right, we're going to put this on freaking small cells and macros. No other carrier is really doing it. Like AT&T, you will not find any CBRS gear or radios for AT&T. I hear T-Mobile has some. I don't know where it is. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it on T-Mobile, but I have seen it on AT&T.
CBRS?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm dead serious, dude.
How?
What do you mean, how?
They don't have any licenses, and they don't even install radios to broadcast it.
They use the unlicensed stuff.
But they don't even do gear for it. Where? In what market?
I want to say it was Chicago.
I'll check, but I think you were probably connected to LAA band 46.
No, it was C-band, man.
Or how'd you confirm it? How were you able to confirm it?
iPhone network settings.
And it said band 48?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked. I've never heard of AT&T actually having CBRS gear up and running.
I never heard of it either.
Here, I'll Google search it while we're waiting.
I mean, I do have correspondence in Chicago, so I can ask them to also confirm it. Maybe it's new. How recent was this?
This would have been like 2 years ago.
What? That's crazy. All right, man. Wow. I guess you learn something new, man, every day.
Mark said, I find that suspicious.
That's what Mark said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AT&T
Carlos says T-Mobile has CBRS 2 blocks here in Vegas. Yeah, that's another one that I've never seen here. I have connected to T-Mobile's millimeter wave. I have not connected to their CBRS. That was testing, Dennis, only before the auction. Oh, so it might not even be there anymore. Maybe. Maybe you're connected to a test site.
Maybe.
That's pretty cool, though. When you tested it, what did you get?
I only got like maybe like 200. Wasn't that impressive.
It was probably 10 or 20 megahertz. Probably not much. Because in order for Verizon to get like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 800, they got to go deep. 60 megahertz, 70 megahertz. You see it in Pittsburgh from Verizon?
What, CBRS? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I went to, well, it wasn't with you, but Carlos knows, when I went to go test out N77 the night that it like went live, I went down to the Bethel Park Mall.
Mm-hmm.
They had exactly 10 megahertz up.
Oh, hey, big shout out to MS. Thank you for the super chat. $2.71.
So it's here. It's just not like it is in Vegas. It's like 10 megahertz, maybe 20 megahertz, little chunks like that.
They're nice little boosters, you know, when you're on those corners, you're at those like shopping malls, little strip malls. Sometimes they're near arenas or schools.
Sneed, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Comcast own CBRS?
Yeah, they do.
Like a meaningful amount of it as well.
Probably somewhere between like 20 and 30 megahertz, but they also use the unlicensed stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Dennis, you know what they get to do? They get to broadcast at higher power because
Why?
they're going to be using theirs as fixed wireless. They get an extra 5 to 10 dB.
That's huge.
That is huge because that means they're just going to work from over a mile on a small cell. Right? That's how much power matters. Like everybody's like, oh, the physics. N77 is not as good as N41, the physics. Well, yeah, the power matters in physics.
Hey,
Why?
Sneed, I have a thought real quick. Since major MNOs are offering fixed wireless, what are your thoughts about the little tiny regional WISP that exists?
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Dennis? Broke up.
Since MNOs are offering fixed wireless,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on the little tinier regional WISP wireless ISPs that exist in the US?
They should do it, man. They should. And you know, if I was the local municipalities, I would encourage local ILECs and those that own the fiber, that are running the fiber. I would want them to, you know, I would encourage them to get them connected, to give them their backhaul. You know, I would force the issue. Like, hey, you want your next project, you want to do this, that, and the third, you want to expand your footprint. Hey, support the local ILEC. They want to do fixed wireless. You got to give them fiber. Sign the contract, run it.
See, I was going to say something a little bit different. I was going to say that for the WISP that actually have like actual proper spectrum holdings, I was thinking that they're kind of redundant, and I'd rather just see that spectrum go over to the bigger carriers.
Well, I'd like to see the local wireless ISPs to go millimeter wave, and then they can crap all over the big mobile network operators. They can have all the CBRS they want.
I mean, Sneed, have you actually seen what the local like WISP like actually charge and what the speeds that they offer are? Like,
yeah, typically I see $60 to $80, and the millimeter wave ones offer multiple. They do like 300 to 500 megabits per second guaranteed. Some of them do 800 to 1,000.
Okay, I'm not talking about the millimeter wave ones because I have never seen a millimeter wave WISP here in Pennsylvania. But
I'm talking about like the new startups, like the ones that Carlos is seeing in Vegas. Okay, so the ones you're talking about are like 100 megabit.
If that, it's more like, dude, no. If you want to know the truth, at least here in Pennsylvania, it's more like 10 to 25 megabits per second, with maybe like 3 to 5 meg up as like your tier options, and your pricing is like $80 to like $120 in that range, and there's a data cap.
Okay, so you're not talking about CBRS wireless ISPs.
I'm just talking about WISP in general.
Yeah. The ones that are doing CBRS, they're doing huge speeds, Dennis. Like I was talking to No Radio one night, and he was telling me that a local guy in North Carolina, he had AT&T run him fiber, and he was getting multiple people in his area 500 megabits per second over CBRS in rural America. I guess he had AT&T run him a 2 or a 5 gigabit per second fiber line. 500 megabits to all of his customers.
That's
What do you think of that, Dennis?
That's pretty. And that's guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah, he can give them 500 megabits.
That's pretty good.
See what that's and see. You wanted to know why I wanted to get 5 gig fiber because I want to do something like that, bro. Sneed ISP,
That's legal?
dog. Yeah, bro. Sneed ISP.
Wow.
How is that legal?
How
Wow.
is that not legal?
Well, technically, Sneed, any residential share, if you read it in the fine print, says you're not allowed to like resell the service. Technically,
Well, they're selling me fiber and I'm selling wireless, so they better butt out.
So how do? That sounds like a really good investment.
Bro, you know what's a really good investment? Millimeter wave licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not giving up on that millimeter wave. You want
Nah,
it,
man.
don't
I'm
you?
gonna make it happen, bro. It's gonna be magic.
I mean, millimeter wave really is incredible, and I want to see more of it. It is the closest thing. I know this is where we disagree, but I got to stick by what I say. It is basically the closest real competitor to cable that cable's going to have outside of fiber, but fiber just isn't available everywhere in this country, so millimeter wave has a better chance. And my only concern is that millimeter wave isn't going to make it out to those rural areas where WISPs generally actually have a market demand.
What's more dangerous, a wisp or a wasp?
Yeah.
I'm saying that your little wisp that we're talking about isn't going to have the money to actually deploy a millimeter wave grid for Uncle Joe's farm out in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Bro, all we gotta do is we just gotta do point to point with the millimeter wave, homie.
Well, if we're doing point to point, then why not just use the free 60 gigahertz spectrum that's available with Ubiquity gear?
I'm saying, man. That's right, Zach. That's right, Zach. Tell him. I reported this 2 years ago. U.S. Cellular was going to do millimeter wave fixed wireless. Tell him. Big Andrew, what up, man? Andrew in the house.
I definitely think after the last thing that AT&T did, I do think they are going to push fiber to rule as much as they can.
Listen, I need to say something really important because I feel like people think I hype it up, but I just want to say, out of all the technologies, although we get excited about it all, there's only one true technology. It is the gold standard. It is the literal life changer, and that is fiber. Anything that's not fiber is just second best. It's because it's there. Fiber is the end game, and Sneed, even you yourself have agreed that it has changed your life, and you couldn't go back to anything else now at this point.
When I move, and I mean, fiber matters. It's as simple as that. It's going to be fiber. If there's no fiber, I'm going to look for a different house.
Exactly. I told Moose
I'm not playing with these people, dog.
I literally refuse. You could literally give me a multi-million-dollar house, and if it doesn't have fiber, I'd say no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. I'll go live in an apartment that has fiber.
Yes, I agree.
I
could never go back to cable. It was.
Yo, would you guys buy your internet from WeaselNet?
What the fuck is that? I mean, what is that?
Is this a joke or what are you talking about?
Bro, Weasel's gonna start a network, WeaselNet.
Who is Weasel?
Bro, that's the homie Weasel, bro. One of the channel supporters. Come on, dog.
I'm sorry, but I have no clue who it is.
I'm sorry, I ain't never seen this man. If he was standing right in front of me, I wouldn't know who this man was.
I looked up WeaselNet and I got brought to the Weasel Radio Network on Google.
No, I think he's legit a fan of Dennis.
You talking about Wesley?
What up, Jose?
Wait, is Weasel Wesley?
Yeah, bro. Wesley's serious about this.
Okay, well, that's not his name's not Weasel. His name's Wesley.
Yeah, but he's gonna start a network, bro. It's WeaselNet.
Can Wesley come up here? I want to hear this. Can he come up here? I want to hear all about his plan. Can I invest?
Look, Mark is even asking for it. WeaselNet Pro, dog.
I mean, Sneed, you've heard my rationale when it comes to things. You already know what my order of operations is. So if it's fixed wireless, then my answer is no. I wouldn't buy it.
Bro, why are you such a hater on the fixed wireless, dog?
I think fixed
It's
wireless
not
is
that
the
I'm a
right
hater, but
option
I've
for people.
explained my logic. My logic is sound for my needs.
Look, Dennis, seriously, bro, like I don't know what happened, but like you must have drank a tall glass of haterade and then just decide to show up on my show today just hating on the fixed wireless, man.
I don't hate on it, but I've told you my order of operations. It is fiber's the gold standard. That's where we agree. Cable's next best thing. Then fixed wireless. Then it's a toss up between DSL and like whatever. And then last option of last resort is satellite.
Coax must be doing you city folk right, because it's where I come from. Coax is not good.
It's trash.
It's trash.
I mean, Sneed, I've showed you the speeds that I've gotten, yes?
Okay, Dennis, you are living it up with cable. All right. You're in good shape and you got fiber. You're sitting pretty, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but look, what if you don't have that option? You got WeaselNet, you got Sneed ISP. We'll hold it down on the fixed wireless end.
Right. That's why I just put the order of operations. It goes if fiber's not available.
Let's not deny the fact that the uplink, no doubt, is better than cable. Fixed wireless is better on uplink.
It is. And the pricing, because in rural they charge way too much. They are taxing.
Bro, they taxing. They're doing 80, 100,
they are
120.
Taxing.
Yeah.
Bro, I was paying $100 a month for a gig, and I was never seeing a gig.
I showed you the ad earlier today, didn't I? That I got?
Yeah, the pricing is good because there's competitors, Dennis, but he ain't got that in rural Texas.
I don't. Dennis,
he's from Texas.
Dennis, look up Vibe Broadband. Look it up. And if it come up, it's VYVE. Look it up, Broadband. I'm telling you.
What about the homie Rolando, bro? He's got freaking brazzers. He ain't got fiber, dog.
Wait, are we talking about the porn website?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wait, spell that out. Is it V like Victor?
Yes, V Victor, Y Yawn, V Victor, E egg.
V broadband, okay.
Vibe broadband. It's horrible.
Listen. Somebody tag Rolando right now on Twitter, bro. Get him in here. He'll tell us all about it, bro.
Hold on. So I'm on their website. It says they're charging $70 for gig.
Dennis, that's a promotional rate. I was paying $100 plus you got to add in the modem fee, which was another $10 on top of that.
You can't use your own modem?
You can. I had to. I bought my own modem because the modem that they were giving you was trash. So they ended up taking mine off. So it was $100. It was literally $97 in one day.
All right, big shout out to Santiago. Thank you for the super chat, Broham. You got the pair character cheerfully blowing a party horn. Thank you, Santiago. Welcome to the show. Santiago, can you email me, bro, so I can get you a link to the Discord? I know you were asking me about it earlier. So if you still need that link, I can get you an invite, to get you into the Discord. Let me know. Email me, sneedmobiletech@gmail.com.
The only reason I got that, Dennis, was just for the upload. And the upload went to 38 megs. It wasn't good. It was trash for a person who do YouTube videos, and I have a YouTube video that's almost 30 minutes long. It's trash.
Hold on. I proved a point on Sneed's show that if you're talking about live streaming as a YouTuber, I literally capped my speed to 5x5, and no one noticed a difference.
Yeah, it was good, but it's a reliable connection. It's the stability, Dennis. It's about the stability. It's not about the speed necessarily.
If we're talking about stability, hardwired always going to be more stable than anything wireless, period.
So how do you explain Cox trash versus all of my fixed wireless that I self-created?
I mean, clearly Cox trash had some problems at your house, but a hardwired connection, like I'll put it to you this way, Sneed. Using Cox as your barometer is like judging an improperly crimped Ethernet cable and saying,
right.
"Oh, Ethernet's bad."
You're right.
So if we look at like how Ethernet actually is for like the vast majority of people, that's actually properly crimped and terminated. Ethernet is like god tier. Like Cat 6 literally gives you 10 gig over like Ethernet, and it's cheap as hell. And then you got your Cat 7, which is like double braided and like all kinds of craziness that can push like 20, 40 gigabits per second over copper, because that's what Ethernet is. It is copper. So my point that I'm getting at is that cable, right? I'm not saying the companies are great. Again, talking about technology. Cable.
All right, I just closed out the poll just so you guys know. Go ahead, Dennis.
But cable to technology is going to be better for at least the foreseeable future in my eyes than fixed wireless. It just I talked about this with you before, but like fixed wireless doesn't even have remotely the amount of spectrum it would need. With the exception of millimeter wave, fixed wireless does not have even close to the amount of spectrum it would need to actually be a real competitor. And then it gets into the whole different talks that I talked to you about with how the network core operates, and just the fact that wireless inherently has issues that a cable connection doesn't have to deal with. Just like fiber doesn't have to deal with RF frequencies like cable does. There's inherent flaws with the technology in the medium that other technology doesn't have to deal with.
Vivian, you heard that? I'm sorry, y'all. Sneed, I apologize again, bro.
What you apologize for?
The Kim Possible ringtone.
That's all right, bro. It's all good. Put your shit on vibrate, bro.
I did. The other phone wasn't on silent. But I'm with Carlos and I'm with Sneed. If I had the option for fixed wireless internet, I probably would have took it, because that $100 a month was tough. It was tough. Believe it or not, it was tough.
I mean,
that upload, it was, what you say, what is Cox, Sneed?
What were you saying about Cox?
What was Cox to you?
What was Cox what?
What was Cox to you?
Garbage can residue.
Or trash.
It is absolute trash.
I mean, look.
Like if I sing it for you, Dennis, will you listen and hear me out if I sing it?
I mean, I love your voice, but let me just say one thing. I'm gonna tell you a little trick real quick. When you want to get a promo, if they don't give you the promo again, just cancel and then re-sign up and get that new customer promo.
All right, we're gonna stick it to Dennis tonight. There's a new poll up. Go ahead and get your votes in. If you have cable, coaxial for home internet, so that means if you have fiber or if you have fixed wireless access, you can't vote in this. Only if you have cable coaxial. Even DSL, you're not allowed to vote. We want just cable. All right, how would you best describe your experience? Great, good, some bad, so it's a mixed bag, and then usually bad. I swear to you, Dennis, if we don't get at least 70% of these votes, some good, some bad, or usually bad, I'll show you. I'll show my backside to the city of Pittsburgh from the tallest building you got downtown.
I don't want to see that.
Yo,
Weasel, this is not.
Send me your email me.
Steve, this is not Penn State after finals week. Okay, we're not doing a strip run down Pollock Road.
Hey, big shout out to Santiago, another super chat. Thank you, man. Hashtag of the day, hashtag Cox trash.
I will admit though, Dennis, my fiber do have its times when it dip. I ain't gonna lie, but consistently I can deal with it. Literally, I played the game yesterday for the first time, and this is the first time I think I've ever played the game with no lag.
I'm not, just to be clear here, so we're on the same page. I'm not arguing that cable's better than fiber to the home. I'm arguing that cable's better than fixed wireless.
No, I got you, but I was just telling you that like fiber has its issues as well. It's not perfect.
Of course. I talked about my 6 months of hell with Verizon.
yeah. But
they're saying Optimum is pretty bad too, man. People are taking fixed wireless over Optimum.
Bro, I'm telling you, CenturyLink
that's
CenturyLink
Altice,
coax?
isn't it? Optimum is Altice.
Yes.
Is CenturyLink is coax?
CenturyLink does fiber and it does coax.
No, CenturyLink does fiber and DSL.
Oh, DSL.
Okay, DSL. Okay. My CenturyLink DSL, when I lived in, this is a small town next to my small town named Grosbeck. My DSL from CenturyLink was better than the coax I had. Kid you not. It was better.
Yo, did you move to Houston or are you still in Moderna?
And you watch your mouth, sir. I am in.
Hey, Sneed, I just want to ask you something. Are you looking at the pool right now?
Am I what?
Are you looking at the pool right now?
Yeah, that's going.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the poll. It's almost an even split. Like 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4.
What you mean? You were telling me you mean to tell me fixed wireless access can't get this type of poll, those same results? You're crazy.
I'm saying, like, you were saying it was going to be 70% in your favor.
Okay, do your math, bro. It's at freaking 55% right now. Some good, some bad, and usually bad.
So flip of a coin, though. So 50% are saying it's usually good. 50%.
But you're trying to tell me that coax is that much better than fixed wireless? Yeah, right, bro. It ain't that much better. Barely. If it's 55%, that means 45% are displeased on some level.
Yeah, but I feel like once they try it, and then they realize, and then they're like,
and I'm bringing somebody in here to back me up on this, dog. Telling you. We get Carter back in here. Yo, Caesar, if you're still here, man, who's your service provider at the homestead, man? I don't know if he has fiber or coax or fixed wireless. I have no clue.
I have Spectrum, and I've never had any issues with them.
Okay, so they're decent.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
And I'll leave.
I've never heard anybody say anything
we got WeaselNet in the house. WeaselNet, what up, bruh?
Yo, what up, guys?
What's going on, bruh?
Not much, chilling. You guys hear me good?
Oh yeah, you sound incredible right now. I don't know what kind of mic you're using, but you sound great.
Just an Audio Technica.
Got the Audio Technica, cuh. Weasel, talk to him, bro. Tell him about this coaxial situation.
Well, it sucks. I know that. Basically, everyone in my town's on it, and it is pretty much just heavily congested.
Who do you have?
Almost all hours of the day. TDS is out here. TDS Telecom.
I've heard of TDS.
Originally was Baja, and then TDS bought them out. But I have TDS as a backup internet, but my main internet is CenturyLink fiber over a pair of AirFiber 60s. And it's phenomenal.
Can you speak English for the people in the back?
Wait a minute. I looked up TDS and I can't be looking at the right thing. I'm showing they're offering fiber.
So yes and no. Out here, well, they have two websites depending which one you're on. Hello TDS is ours. TDStelecom.com or whatever it is in halfway across the states. But they do have fiber in some new developments out here, but it's like within the last year that you have to have it built for that fiber.
Gotcha,
the fiber is okay, but the coax is just, it's horrible.
There we go.
I've got the gig right now, and I have their gig, and I see about, even hardwired, best I see is 600 on a good day.
How much they charge you?
We're paying, I think my promo just ended in December. I was paying $89 for a gig by 20, and then it just went up to like $109.
Wow,
I think.
Wow,
but
that is ridiculous.
That's unlimited, mind you. So they're not like Cox, at least.
Oh, Cox is pretty good, bro. It's awesome. I think everybody should have it.
No, Adam, this is why you got kicked out the last time.
I've only had one good experience with Cox, and that was because I was living in a condo, and there was fiber to the building, and then it split coax to all the independent rooms.
So Sneed, there's something I want to bring up real quick. I just wanted to ask you, have you ever took the time to go to like reviews.org or any of those websites where they talk about like best internet options in the country? I'm just asking real quick.
Yeah. You get to see like the ratings of all the different ISPs.
Right, but specifically, you get to see also what people say.
Yeah.
You know that, fun fact, the number one pick for the country, like as an ISP choice, is Comcast, Xfinity. And then number two is Verizon, and I'm going to send you a link right now in the private.
Like Verizon Fios?
Just Verizon, the company as a whole. Like, but yes, Fios specifically.
I thought Comcast was the most hated company in the world.
Actually, I believe AT&T took that crown. I believe, if memory serves me.
It says here that the number one is AT&T.
No. Look at the rankings. Our best internet service providers ratings.
Okay. Number one, Xfinity. So that's what, Charter?
That's Comcast.
Or Comcast. Okay.
Then number 2 is Verizon, tied with AT&T for number 2. And then fourth, and this is a 3-way tie, is Spectrum, Astound Broadband. I never heard of them. And then Cox. And then
hold on a second, bro. They got HughesNet at number 7. What?
That list is fake. The list is fake. I told you.
Yeah, bro. This is fake news, bro. You got me on some fake news, bro.
If you look at the 7, well, first off, that's tied for 7th place is Mediacom, HughesNet, Frontier, and CenturyLink. 3 of those options are DSL, and 1 is satellite. So is it really that?
There's more than one satellite. Viasat and HughesNet are in the top 10.
Viasat's number 11. They're not even in the top 10.
All right. Well, there's only 12 listed, Dennis.
And Suddenlink is number 12.
I don't even know what that means, bro.
Suddenlink is a regional cable provider.
Suddenlink works here. It works here in Houston.
Oh man, Suddenlink is actually.
Are they in Moderna too, or just Houston?
There you go. No, Suddenlink works. Suddenlink works to the north of us, like a few miles to the north of us, but it does not work in Mahia at all. Mahia only has AT&T DSL and fiber broadband.
Oh, okay.
Frontier is trash. Suddenlink is trash. I don't know what they talking about. Comcast is trash. Spectrum is trash. I'm finna call them all out. They all trash.
Yeah, they're trash, bro.
They trash.
So have you guys heard of any like open infrastructure fiber companies? Is that a thing over on those other western sides?
Bro, like how much of the population in the US has a municipal fiber option?
Like less than 1%.
Less than 2%.
Up here in Utah, there's a company called Utopia. And they pretty much just own the fiber, and then you've got like 10, 15 different ISP options. And
listen, Utopia makes me like feel some type of way. I watch Snazzy Labs go to their head end.
Yep, I see that.
And my mouth was watering. If it wasn't for the fact that it was in Utah, the state that decides to like reduce beer alcohol contents and stuff like that.
We don't do that anymore, luckily. But
but it makes Utah look like a sexy state to live in. Let's just say that
3.4 was the max percent for everything for a long time. But anyway, real quick, Utopia is actually coming out to Santa Clara, which is literally like a mile away from me. It's actually in the same area that I currently get my fiber from. So I'm thinking about, well, they're actually going to run the fiber regardless because Utopia is running it to every business and home of Santa Clara, Utah. And every address that gets connected with Utopia is capable of up to 10 gigs. Residential for about $200 a month.
And if I remember correctly too, Utopia basically does what Socialist Dennis wants, which is they basically say anybody can hook up to their main backbone and run the last mile. So if
Pretty
Dennis
much
wanted to go out to Utah and say, hey, I'll make my own ISP, I could just hook up into Utopia's backbone, lease some bandwidth, and just be good.
And then anyone in the area, even probably down here, because they're mainly based in Salt Lake. But anyone probably even come down to Santa Clara and sign up for your internet.
Yes, Dennis, the Utopia is literally like 0 millisecond.
I know. Dude, did you not hear me just say how Utopia makes me feel special?
Yeah, I saw the video.
But I love Ryan. He said I'm going to end up in Longmont. Nah, I'm good, dude. I paid $160 to have a tech out with Verizon. They moved the ONT inside. The dude was awesome. His name was Alan. Great tech. Been with the company for like 17 years. He's basically like the no radio Verizon. Did everything proper. Moved my ONT inside. It's great.
Hey, let me get Chayman here. He wanted to comment a couple of things to Dennis.
So for Dennis, my opinion on cable. So I will partially agree with you regarding that cable is better than wireless millimeter wave for an ISP. There are two types of cable. There's the Xfinity Comcast or Spectrum version, which is pretty good with a solid pink. It's usable. Then is the other version, which is called it's the CAX version, the Optimum Cablevision Suddenlink, which a millimeter wave is definitely much better than that type of cable, if you know what I'm talking about.
Cox
You're
is
not
good.
getting. There's two types of cable. There's the Optimum cable or Cox. You're getting like packet loss when it's raining outside. You literally have noisy signal, internet connection. Uplink is trash. The ping is like averaging like 19, 20 plus milliseconds. So how could you compare that to millimeter wave?
I mean, that's fine. I get what you're saying. You're talking about bad cable deployments in that area versus.
No, I would put it in two types because there's no good Optimum or Cox cable.
Dang.
I mean, I've never had Cox, so I can't speak for them. I'm not going to try to defend them based off what's. Hey, I'm not going to try to defend them. I'm not going to try to defend them. All I'm going to say is this, though, and this is a fact, and this is a hard fact because Sneed, you've seen it. Comcast gets ping times. Comcast gets ping times literally within 2 milliseconds of Verizon fiber.
I saw that.
What it is? You know what it boils down to, Chame, Dennis? If there's competitors, all carriers, all ISPs step up.
100%. But for example, my area where I have Fios or Optimum, there's no question to go to Optimum. I can't look at people that who are going to Optimum and then they call me for support because they have internet issues.
Do you guys know what's going to kill Cox here, especially in my neck of the woods? AT&T Fiber just launched, and their prices are better. It's really like, so it's true. Some people literally don't care about their home internet. They just need it. They need TV. They need home internet, so they have it and they pay for it. But what's going to kill Cox is they're selling for $60 a month. They're selling 300 by 10. Meanwhile, AT&T is selling fiber gigabit symmetrical for $60. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like that much better.
Sneed, are you the only one in your neighborhood with the fiber still?
No, the trucks are here every day converting another customer.
Are they for real?
Yeah, I see the freaking AT&T trucks every day. I drive home from work every day.
Dennis, how far did they go out from your house?
Bro, they just did another 10 neighborhoods on the other side of on the other side of the block. The whole like webbing of my neighborhood all the way out to the neighboring city. AT&T is just continuing to do fiber.
Are you to the node or to your house?
I'm to the house.
Nice.
We're fiber. Yeah, I saw them install the fiber line. And they actually, you know what they did? They put in a temporary fiber line. They came in and put a permanent fiber line and then buried it.
So it seems like how AT&T does it a lot.
So what did you mean by to the node or to the house? Can you explain? I'm sorry.
To the node means that they would run fiber to a like pedestal thing, and then they would run like some other like cable or something to the house.
Usually Ethernet. Usually the node or the pedestals in your front yard or at your sidewalk. At least here.
Or sometimes all the way at the front of the neighborhood at that main entry point.
So your city required AT&T to trench it in the ground?
Bro, that's the only way to do it. There's nothing to hang them on inside the neighborhoods.
Well, I meant like, because how Moose explained it to me, they was like, if they came to like a rural area, they'll probably do it like off the power lines or something like that.
Aerial, they'll do an aerial. So.
Yeah, they'll do aerial exactly.
Okay.
Like here in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Dennis, look. Chuck's getting the same offers that you're getting.
He has
$40 deals.
He has Spectrum.
Yeah, but like similar deals. Look at the pricing.
Yeah.
See, told you, man. It's because of fixed wireless. It's because of Verizon and T-Mobile. I'm telling you, dog.
But what was I going to say? Oh, here in Pennsylvania, most ISPs do aerial deployments, whether that be your fiber or your cable operators. They're doing it over the poles. Now, in the actual downtown city of Pittsburgh, there are spots where they are forced to do underground, and also some HOAs. That's why my area is underground, which I am thankful for, because aerial also has its own host of problems. So
I would rather for mine be underground too, Dennis.
Hey, once it's done, there's pretty much nothing that can go wrong unless literally your local utility company or something cuts the line. But at least when it's underground, you don't have to worry about some drunk driver crashing into the pole.
Raccoons.
All our cable provider is all aerial, but all the fiber I think from CenturyLink is underground. But the cable provider would love to go fiber, but they have to do a whole rip and replace on everything because they can't put anything more on the power poles.
I'm seriously right
Probably
now.
in a
I'm
long
so in
time.
love. I'm so in love with Verizon right now. I have such good feelings for the fact that I actually have working service. I'm so in love.
So can you please get the thought of coax out your head?
It doesn't change my rationale. If Verizon wasn't available to me, I'd be using Comcast.
Oh, Poe Dennis, I'll be loving you until you say that.
But I wouldn't also have a problem with Comcast if I would have it in my area, besides Fios. That's my point. There's two types
Expensive.
of cable. Dennis, there are a lot of people in New York City which will use point-to-point providers rather than Optimum because there are a lot of building managers doesn't allow Fios to go up there. So the only option is Optimum, and they will not use it. They will rather use point-to-point wireless providers.
We got a hashtag for tonight. Hashtag Dennis 4.0.
Like the only argument that can be and I'm talking about the technology right now. I'm not talking about anything else. The only argument that can be had against coax is upload speed, and that's it. Because download speeds are pretty fiber-esque.
Dennis, I'm seeing in point to point. I'm seeing literally like fiber pinks in symmetrical speeds, gigabit.
Yeah, that's true. That's how New York City is, bro.
Yeah.
You need luck to get a good provider, just to take care of infrastructure.
So there is a provider that's called Skywire that has literally a lot of subscribers in the whole New York City, which are using gigabit symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
So is Fios not good there?
No, it's great. I'm talking about the buildings where the managers does not allow Fios to come in.
Oh,
They got backroom deals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they ain't Jessica Reservoir, whatever her name is, ain't she finna change that?
Why is everyone saying I'm hangry? I don't feel like I'm being rude.
No, you're not, Dennis. You're not. We're just messing with you, man.
Also, I don't know why it's surprising. I've been very consistent. Every show, I've been very consistent about where I stand on things. I'm not saying my mind can't be changed.
We're gonna close out the poll. Anybody that wants to vote, you got 1 minute because we got to close out the show. So if you want to get your final votes in, we've got 70 votes as of right now. So if you haven't, do it now quickly, please. All right. And look, man, all I'm saying is they've rubbed people the wrong way for a long time. You got people like Chame. You got people like Worldwide West, the Weasel. You got Mr. Carter, man. He's in Moderna. He knows. Okay, I've dealt with it.
It's my hair.
I'm just saying, bro. We've all dealt with the cable disease. The disease that is cable coax.
I just feel like they taxing. Like I feel like what you get would be justified if they was not taxing you.
All right, let's go ahead and close this out. Let's see what the poll finishes up at. All I want to see is how many people are at least somewhat or very disgruntled with cable coaxial. And like I said, Dennis, don't be surprised if it's between 60 and 70%. That's all I'm saying.
But again, I'm partially agreeing with Dennis if we are talking about Comcast or Spectrum.
60 and 70%. Okay, so it's usually bad, 35%. Some good, some bad, 18%. All right.
And then good is
25%. It's about 53%.
Right. But it's below what you were saying.
But it's above 50%, so that's the majority of people that voted.
Fair.
So they got work to do, man. The only reason the fixed wireless access market will exist is because of this.
Hey, can I just point out one other thing, though, real quick?
Yeah.
If cable actually feels the heat in a given market, they will pull out their old school playbook, and their old school playbook goes a little something like this. We will put the pricing at so low that you'll sign up for it just because it's so low until that competition goes away.
Yeah. The thing is about the mobile network operators is they're not shutting down their towers because
I didn't say they'd shut down. I'm saying what I'm getting at is basically it'll go a little like how DSL happened, i.e. cable ends up getting like legit like 95% market share. So X provider just decides to stop investing in that market, and then fixed wireless in that market. Even if fixed wireless, the tech has the potential to do more, and that specific given market won't get the same upgrade love because the market penetration isn't there.
all right,
I doubt it. I don't see that happening like that.
Dude, Comcast is literally selling 300 megabit per second internet for $20 and $10 with a mobile discount.
Yeah, for like 1 year, and then after that it balloons to $93.
2 years. But my point being is my point
Dennis!
my point is that if Comcast ever feels pressured, they drop prices to such unrealistic lows that no normal consumer is not going to sign up. I mean, who's going to say no to like literally $20 or $10 internet?
Me personally, I believe everybody deserves 2 fiber options. Personally.
I mean, me personally, I feel like we'd be better if we all just had one fiber option and it was
Utopia.
like and literally like if companies want to like basically become MVNOs and just hook up to that one main fiber backbone.
There you go. Yeah.
That's socialist, Dennis. That's what I would like.
Dennis coming through, bro.
But that's not the world we live in. But anyway, look, I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you everyone that super chatted Sneed tonight. You guys are literally the best. This man is an absolute legend. He is truly the father of the community. And I can assure you that he's making good use of those funds. That's basically Yasmin's college fund. So it's going to a good place. And thank you to Wesley for coming on. I wish you luck in your fixed wireless endeavor. Even though I'm not the targeted demographic, I'm sure you'll have great success. Thank you for having me. Caesar and
Mr. Carter, man, Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Carter, for also coming on the show. I enjoyed your viewpoints and your spicy takes. And Steve, thank you for always having me on.
Thanks. You guys are amazing. Thanks to everybody on the panel. Big shout out to George, Pete, Nimmer, Blind Tech Adventures, Santiago, anybody else. If I missed your super chats, thank you guys for all the support. I see some people here at the end. Vivian. Dennis thinks Sneed is daddy. Confirmed. No.
Well, I mean, if he wants to pay for my graduate degree, he's more than welcome.
No, see, I knew you were going to take it there. No. Hashtag Mod Squad. Hashtag Ravioli Gang. Hashtag 2 Live Crew. Hashtag Replay Crew. Hashtag, hashtag Help the Bear. Hashtag Save the Bear. Hashtag Dennis 4.0. We got another hashtag?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Moderna.
No. Ain't Moderna in your county?
And big shout out to the homie. He just threw in the super chat late action.
So wait, the scallops didn't kill him. The scallops didn't kill him. He's alive.
Yeah. Hey, let's roll out though. We got to bounce, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks to everybody for being here. Like this video on the way out, please. Thank you. And we out this piece.
Ladies.